How to never be angry or bothered by people again. In this video, I'm going to reveal a powerful, life-changing technique you can start using immediately to never be angry or bothered by people again. I know, sounds too good to be true, but this works. This is a game changer. If you have people in your life that are causing you to be angry or bothered, this can change your life in a huge way. So you're going to want to turn off any distractions and really pay attention to what I'm about to share with you right now. This secret is very simple to use. Millions of people use it. It will show you exactly how to live without getting angry or bothered by other people. In fact, not only will you never be angry or upset by others, you will gain tremendous personal power, and which allows you to have more peace and joy as your normal living experience. In today's world, this knowledge is a must-have, because without it, your life could be filled with suffering, anger, and despair. But your life does not have to be like this anymore. So let's get into it. Real quick, if you like this video, if you like any of my videos, if you like the content I'm creating, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me to create more content like this, and it shows me what you guys like. And drop me a comment below. I love to hear what works for you. Okay, so what's the big problem with anger? Let's say you have people in your life that are causing you to feel a lot of anger. This in turn causes you to feel great suffering. No matter how much you try to ignore it, it's not something you can easily solve. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a problem, right? In fact, you feel stuck. In turn, you're suffering inside. And this robs you of your joy and happiness and goodness in your life. Now, this is not a light matter. When you experience suffering, it puts your brain in a flight or fight mode, which in turn makes things worse, because physiologically, your brain under stress functions at a much lower level, and which in turn, it doesn't have the ability to help you solve your problems. So not only are you suffering and feeling terrible, but you don't actually see a way out to improve your situation. So anger can really put you in a place where you feel stuck and that you don't want to be in. So what is the big solution? Begin to operate from a place of total willingness. I'm going to explain the power behind this practice. When you do things willingly, this is your fundamental joy. No matter what it is you're doing, it brings you joy. When you operate from a place of total willingness, this makes the world of difference in your life. Versus when you operate from a place of unwillingness, this is your hell, so to say. It's about choosing willingness rather than picking and choosing who, what, when you will choose to live in willingness. Because this is going to be your fundamental place of joy rather than the wrath of negativity that arises when you don't. So how do you cultivate this living with willingness? By cultivating non-reactiveness internally within you. Is it that everyone else is wrong and you're right? Maybe. Or is it the way you're choosing to react or not react to them? What do I mean when I say react? Perhaps the biggest reason is when other people make you react, other people control you. When other people are unable to make you react, other people do not control you. So when you're living with total willingness as a way of life, that is to say, you're living with non-reaction as your normal way of living, then no one can control you through your reactions. Don't worry, I'm going to explain how you can have this personal power as we move through this video. So why is having total willingness the best solution to never being angry and bothered by other people? Let's get into it. Total willingness is an antidote to suffering. And we all know what suffering feels like. It's that deep inner resistance, that no we experience, that feeling of dread, that feeling of like intense no within us. It's a non-acceptance to whatever is happening, and we experience this and it causes us deep suffering within us. It could be something that happens from the outside, or it can be a thought that's happening internally that just kind of grabs us and triggers us into suffering. Suffering stems from having a negative reaction. The stronger we feel inner resistance and fight against it, the stronger we experience the suffering. So it's very important to understand the nature of suffering. Bringing a sense of total willingness to your life will alleviate suffering. Do you want to live in joy or in misery? This is a good question to ask yourself. Picking and choosing, I like this person, I don't like that person, is setting yourself up always for suffering. Remember, total willingness is about you. You're doing this for yourself. You are not allowing another person to control you by controlling your reactions. So remove the inner resistance and therefore removing the suffering. Begin to live your life as your own inner observer, your own witnessing of your own life, instead of reacting to other people. Other people are going to do what they're going to do anyways. A lot of the times you are caught up in a reaction and thinking about someone else and going into a negative state of reactions, while the other person is just going about their day, doing whatever they're doing, not even thinking about you, and just maybe having a great time while you are, in a place of suffering. And it doesn't have to be that way. So you can't change them, but you can change the way you respond to them by not reacting within. When you frame it like this, you can almost feel silly for seeing yourself reacting to the people that are causing you anger or being bothered by people. You literally step back and say, I can't believe I've been letting my reactions have the better half of me all this time. Oh gosh. And you just sort of say, well, no more, no more, no more. And now you won't unconsciously play into or partake in the negativity that pulls you down into suffering. This is not a tool to solve problems. This is a way of being. Albert Einstein said, you cannot solve your problems the same way you created them. So what we're essentially doing here is stepping into a different paradigm. Your old paradigm says, I would be happy if I could solve my problems, but I can't solve my problems. These problems imprison me and keep me from having the life I want. The total willingness paradigm says, problems are not possible in my life because I live with total willingness. I am blissfully alive with unlimited awareness, unlimited joy, and unlimited creativity, effortlessly flowing like a beautiful instrument of God. This sounds great, you may say, but how do I do this? So how do you live with total willingness towards life? Understand that you have the power in you to stop allowing other people to control your reactions. Practice every moment not judging this nor that, and remain the simple observer that is you. It's about how you want to live, not them. It's all about your choice. It does not matter how they are, that is their choice. But how you are, that is your choice. This is your way. No matter what they do, you remain in your steadfast self, because you do not give your freedom away to anyone. This is your own privilege. that you ultimately keep for yourself. Don't let anyone take your joy or peace away from you by giving in to negatively reacting to them. Because the only person that really gets hurt is you when you react negatively to other people. The only person that really suffers is you when you negatively react to other people. You are the only one that's really getting angry. So safeguard your freedom, your privilege, your joy, your peace. You safeguard it. When you allow another person to decide what happens within you right now, isn't that slavery? That is like someone else is deciding how you get to feel. So this is why your reaction is very important. To not feed into that reaction. It's not 100% in our control what happens outside of us or what happens in and around us, but what happens within us is fully in our control. We may not want to admit that, but it is. What happens inside you must be your own making. So own it, live this way with total willingness to life. So how do we stay in our inner making? So we want to cultivate living and experiencing life without the inner critic. Your inner critic always has a picture of how it wants things to be and how it's never really satisfied with how things are. And it's never happy. You can buy it some shoes, you can buy it a TV, you can buy it a new phone. It's only going to temporarily satisfy it until it comes back and starts being the inner critic again. The only thing the inner critic does is generate more negative reaction to things, which then takes you in its control. And that negative reaction will take you down so fast into a downward spiral of misery. This downward spiral of negativity is what we want to avoid in the first place. That is why living in total willingness as a being of life, when you do things willingly, this is your joy. You are doing something without negatively reacting to it. When you start to negatively react, it starts to pull other negative reactions, and that is the spiral that takes you down and pulls you into the dark world of negativity, the place of suffering. So that's what we want to avoid at all costs. We want to stay in a place that we are not giving into and feeding into the negative reactions in the first place. And so we don't let other people control us. Remember, it's our privilege, it's our freedom, it's our way, and we choose to live in total willingness. I hope you enjoyed this video and can take a lot from it and practice it into your life and really see that reactivity is really at the cost of yourself, no one else. So I really hope that you can take that and practice what we covered today. And if you enjoyed this video and any part of it was helpful to you, give it a like and a share, and also comment below.